Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Satu, dua, tiga. Assalamualaikum and a very good day to our viewers who are watching us right now. Welcome to our forum, Fresh Graduates. Are they not competent enough? My name is Hani and I will be your first moderator. And beside me is
Hi and welcome everyone. I am HAZIM, the second moderator. Today we will discuss about fresh graduate. Honey, soon we will also leave the university and become one of the graduates. Usually, as far as I know, recent graduates will continue to find a suitable job for themselves. But do they realize that finding a job in this day and age is very challenging?
That's right, Hazim. Throughout this forum, we will get to know some tips and tricks about marketing ourselves and the students out there as fresh graduates to employers and also gain some new knowledge about why and how fresh graduates find it so hard to find job these days.
Without further, we will introduce to the viewer this great panel that we bring exclusively in our forum this time. All the great panels have expertise in their respective field, but each has one main objective, that's it helping fresh graduate in getting jobs after graduation.
Let me introduce the first panel, a lecturer with a PhD degree, major in human resource management, and have 30 years teaching experiences. Let me introduce you to Dr. Muhammad Faiz HELMI bin Muhammad Faizal. How are you, Doctor?
Alhamdulillah, very good. Thanks to Allah for the chance that I'm still breathing until now. First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to participate in this forum program. I'm so honored to share my opinion with you all, especially to our graduates out there.
I'm very glad to hear it, Doctor. Next, I introduce to you to our second panel, YB Dato Dr. Muhammad Hafiz bin Musli. Now he is hold the position of Deputy Minister in the Ministry of Higher Education. The experience he has for 20 years is expected to be able to help in preparing the graduates out there who struggle in finding suitable jobs. How do you feel right now, Dato?
I'm feeling great. Thank you for inviting me. Hopefully, this program will bring benefit for those who are already graduates or about graduates, including the viewers, and not to forget for both of you as well. Um, if I'm not mistaken, both of you are final year students, right? And about to graduate in no time.
Yes, we are, Dato. Thank you so much. Last but not least, introducing our last panel, he is not the least of our other two panels just now. In fact, he has a very thriving company now called Harris Global Sendirian Berhad, which is currently hotly debated. Introducing CEO and founder of Harris Global Sendirian Berhad, Mr. Muhammad Haris Aiman bin Othman. So, Mr. Haris, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled to be here with the viewers who I assume are mostly students and fresh graduates and also kind of numbers too.
Don't be Mr. Harris. We are going to have just a casual conversation among ourselves in solving the problem and maybe discussing some solution faced by our graduate today.
Now, without wasting so much time, let's begin the discussion. Nowadays, we often hear complaints from these graduates that it's difficult to get a job once they finish their studies. Well, my first question is, what can these students do to increase their opportunities and abilities in finding employment after graduation? We may listen to the perspective of the lecturer first. You may go first, Doctor.
Thank you, Hani. So to answer the question that has been asked from my point of view, among the things that can be done for by these students to increase their opportunities and abilities in finding a job after graduation is to get additional education. Students should consider out there education programs to enhance their resumes and make themselves more professional. Coursera, for example, offers online courses and degrees for the best university and companies from around the world. There are also free courses available for students and graduates in many subjects. For instance, program provides an opportunity for any students, regardless of their level of experience, to learn in ins and outs of cybersecurity, complete their resume, and meet potential employers. Therefore, technology education programs like this can be invaluable for students studying labor arts who may need to diversify their skills in preparation for entering the workforce. What I can conclude here is that some of these programs can provide employment opportunities to graduates.
Wow, that was a great answer. Thank you, Doctor. Now, what about you, Mr. Harris? As employer yourself, what is the characteristic that you are looking for in an employee?
Well, there are various ways to make the employee likable to the eyes of us employers. In my perspective, one of the ways is that they can create a professional LinkedIn page that showcases their personal brand. Today's competitive job market forces individuals to create their own personal brands. The more complete and professional a LinkedIn profile is, the more seriously you will be taken as a ready candidate for a professional position in any industry. For sure that the escort manager will find you there. So make sure your photo is a clear head of you smiling and your taglines and summaries interest readers so that they are curious to learn more about you. Overall, the summary and tagline should be filled in with language employers will appreciate, but different from the industry. The most important part is to make sure to optimize your profile and proactively use LinkedIn in order to ensure you are sourcing opportunities effectively.
I also heard how great it is to have this LinkedIn account to market ourselves to employers because it can provide space and opportunity for employers to see the achievements of the candidate. What a good way for graduates to approach existing employers out there. Next, can we hear some thoughts and opinions from you, Dato' Hafiz?
Yeah, yes, absolutely, Hani. So from what I can see, a lot of fresh graduates always say, how can I get a job if I don't have any experience? It was so common for me to get this answer from them. So the solution for this, they need to get to know the experience that they already have. Business students and graduates often fail to recognize how much experience they might have. I give an example from what they overlook about this. A lot of times, students forget that their volunteer work and their leadership in college is also an experience. Experience, experience can come in many shapes and sizes, and it doesn't have to be something students do when they enroll in college. It could be your volunteer work to a club or organization. What employers are looking for from high-level college graduates is focus and relevant experience, no matter where it happens or how it pays.
Thank you, Dato. Hani, all the panelists give a great answer. I can assume that as a student that will graduate, those points that all the panelists give are very helpful. I myself approve of the point that Dr. Faiz said, which is get additional education. Also, the point that Dato Hafiz mentioned is to get know the experience you already have, and not forget about the point that Mr. Harris mentioned, which is create a professional LinkedIn page that showcase your personal brand. Do you agree with me, Hani?
Oh, I totally agree with you, Hazim. All fresh graduates nowadays need additional skills or education as an added value for themselves in order to attract employers to recruit them.
Yes, that's absolutely right. We shall ask the next question. For your perspective, Mr. Harris, why is hard for fresh graduates to get a job this day? From my point of view, there's a lot of job offer out there, whether the job require an academic qualification or not. So, what is your opinion on this?
Yes, I do agree with you that there are several work opportunities available, but there are also limitations on the criteria on how they choose the employee. One of them is that companies expect more from fresh graduate. Even having just some experience will make it easier to find a job. Two common reasons why fresh graduates face difficulties to obtain the jobs they desire. The first reason is that fresh graduates face stiff competition. The number of job applicants fighting for the same post has increased in recent years. This implies that job rivalry is fierce, especially for entry-level positions. You can join internship programs to develop soft skills. You can also participate in many student initiatives at your university, especially once they are related to the industry you want to work in. Second reason is that fresh graduates often have some or no work experience at all. It may be discouraging for you to see job ads for junior positions that require at least a year of experience. Start looking for internship opportunities if you have no prior internship experience. If full-time employment isn't for you, consider part-time or freelance work. This will also provide you with the necessary professional experience to land that job.
So I can conclude that it is all about experiences that they gain is one of the crucial factors about the graduates need, especially in applying to new jobs. What about you, Dato Hafiz?
Okay, I can say is they lack the required skills that can impress and satisfy the employers. Some graduates may not be skilled enough to land a job in their respective fields. They may have the book smart, but they lack the demand skills needed to get the job done. An example is soft skills, which are skills that cannot be acquired from years of study but rather from years of working. This range from desired work ethic to multitasking skills or even the ability to epic calm and not to mention cooperation with the other employees. So still for example, teamwork. The majority of employees work as part of team, department or division, and even those who are not an official team must work with others. You may prefer to work alone, but it's critical to show that you recognize and value the need of working as a team in order to achieve the company goals. This proves that you have the soft skill required to collaborate effectively.
Oh, I see. There was definitely a good answer from someone has a title Dato. Last but not least, can we hear a bit from the perspective of an educator? You may start, Dr. Faiz.
For me, the lack of extracurricular activity is also one of the factors that makes it difficult for today's graduates to get a job. Extracurricular activities are typically offered at university to help students develop skills and enhance employers' perception of students. In survey by Psychology Today, 91% of employers state that it was so important for prospective employees to participate in extracurricular activities related to their field of study. Extracurricular activities might make you more hireable, especially when you are in a leadership position. As an outcome, there will be no difficulty with a lack of assurance in the decision taken. Impressive curricular activity performance might also boost their resume and thus make them more likable amongst hiring managers.
I strongly support the point that made by Dr. Faiz just now. It is undeniable that co-curriculum is very important for students because it is these co-curriculum activities that will bring a student to a higher level than students who do not engage at all in any co-curricular activities.
I absolutely agree with you, Hani. All the points the panel gave for this second question are very good. They have opened my eye even though it's hard for fresh graduate to find a job, but the answer give us a student a new hope. So we all hope all the audience that watch this forum may follow and take all the panel advice.
Alright, it's time we go to the last question. To help these graduates, all parties must play an important role in ensuring that there is a backing that will bring the country to the eyes of the world one day. So, for the opinion of all panelists, what do governments and universities can do to help fresh graduates increase their opportunity to get a job after graduation? We can start with Dato Hafiz. What can the government do to help these graduates?
Okay, for this, the government makes a job fair for the fresh graduates. This is an event where interested employees can get information from employers, recruiters, and schools. Job searchers attend this in the hopes of taking positive impression and on possible co-workers by meeting face-to-face with one another, filling out resumes, and asking questions to gain a better sense of the work required. This is an opportunity for firms to meet with students and discuss their expectation of them as students, as well as answer any question they might have regarding the degree or work experience required. Online job fairs provide many of the same benefits as traditional job fairs. And online job fairs make use of virtual platform to allow business to talk with prospective new candidates for the position they offer. Many features such as video, live chat, download materials, and the others are included in the virtual career fair to make it more useful for both recruiters and the job seekers.
Thank you, Dato. Now, let's hear some point from the CEO and founder of Harris Global Endeavor High. What is Mr. Harris' view on this question? I'm pretty sure that all the audience want to hear from you. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that all the audience want to hear from you, sir.
For me, the government should collaborate with industry. Why do I mention this? Okay. Cooperation between universities and industry is very important because industry cooperation is one of the factors in developing more competitive human capital. The perspective provided by the industry contributes to the idea of increasing the efficiency level of graduates and at the same time strives to reduce the unemployment rate in the country. Industry involvement can be made directly and indirectly. Among them, among them is either through brainstorming ideas or advising educational institutions on the skills, knowledge, and employability characteristics needed in the current market. Furthermore, collaboration between educational institutions and employers is relevant to graduate employability. In addition, the main factor causing and the main the main factor causing the unemployment rate in Malaysia is not only focused on universities and students, as the industry has coordinate interest and contribute periodically to the level of IPT graduates by facilitating the expansion of teaching and learning programs at the universities to increase the level of competency of graduates and lecturers.
Oh, so you mean the industry is also involved in playing an important role in assisting these graduates? Hopefully, all of you stay loyal to the end of our show, as there are many more tips to be shared by our great panels. We shall move on to Dr. Faiz. What is your point of view regarding this statement? Do you agree with the statement given by Mr. Haris just now?
I fully agree with Mr. Harris' statement. In this context, universities believe that the reduction of unemployment rate doesn't involve only one party. In fact, cooperation between two parties, namely universities and industry, is needed to eradicate this problem. While the industry wants to grow their business, why not hire our new graduates? I'm confident that their competence will increase when given the opportunity to learn more in depth about our one field. Thus, the industry should work together to provide employment opportunities to new graduates who are still inexperienced. While the problem of unemployment is unpredictable, it can still be reduced with the cooperation of various stakeholders, especially universities and industry players.
Wow, I never expect this question would be a little hit. But I could not agree with you more, Dr. Faiz. All the points that was so clear yet so good to be implemented. Actually, I can say that the university and industry play a very important role in figuring out ways and solutions to overcome the problem of graduates who do not succeed in getting a job.
Yes, me too, Hazim. Well, it seems time is very jealous of us right now. And it is time we are at the end of the show. As the end of our program today, it is hoped that each panel can express hope to all the viewers who are watching us out there. We can start with Mr. Harris first.
I wish that students are well prepared to secure their jobs after graduation. To those who did not get the jobs that they really want, don't be discouraged. Instead, keep working hard and consistently to search for job opportunities. Inshallah, you will receive the job that you want one day.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Can we hear the hope from you, Datuk Hafiz?
So what I can tell to all who will be a fresh graduate in the future, always remember these words. There's no limit to what you can do if you keep believing in yourself. I hope you feel great about what you have accomplished, and I hope you continue to be a person who shows up day in and day out for those things that are worthwhile and important in life. Okay, thank you.
Wow, so nice. Thank you, Dato. Last but not least, what is your hope to all students out there, Dr. Faiz?
Well, my wish for students and grads out there is never give up on chasing your goals and objectives. Use all the opportunities and strategies that can be applied as best as possible in order to secure your job opportunities in the future.
Thank you. Hopefully, our fresh graduates, including us, can apply all these tips and tricks in their life from our grad panels in finding a job immediately after graduation. Don't you agree with me, Hazim?
Of course, I agree with you. So this is the end of our show. I hope all the students out there never give up on what you guys want to achieve. Keep fighting on it, okay?
A million thanks to all the three panels who attended our program today. Hopefully, the sharing shared today can benefit all of who are watching right now. Thank you very much, Dato Faiz, Dr. Faiz, Dato Hafiz, and also Mr. Harif.
So thank you everyone, and thank you to all the audience, and thank you for watching. Good night. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you. Bye.